What's going on, folks? This is Shadow Stars coming at you, folks, with another video. Today's video can be split up into several different parts. The first part, I'm going to be covering the new news in regards to AMC. As you can see, I have it up right here. AMC Theaters is going to celebrate National Popcorn Day on Thursday, January 19th by slashing popcorn prices in half. So I'll cover that news. The second news, I'm going to be covering one person in the AMC community that I've been following. I've been fact checking him and just giving a little update on that guy. It should be interesting. And then the final part, I'm going to be covering another piece of news in regards to an official SEC filing. This is something that you might have not seen yet, because if you search it just through regular SEC Edgar, and if you look at under the company AMC, it might easily slip underneath your radar. So I'm going to show you that form, what the significance is, and how I got to it, so that hey, you can fact check me. But before I jump into anything else, I'd like to take the time and say, hey, thanks for being here. Hope you like the content that I provide. I've received some feedback saying that hey, your content's boring. Oh, it's not funny. Yada yada yada. I appreciate that. I understand where you folks are coming from, and you know what? I said this to in reply to someone, but hey, my video sure might not be the most entertaining. Sure, I might not be the funniest guy. And the thing is that for me, when I make these videos, it's merely to just point out to bring you the information. I'm going to show you the information, show you where I got it from, and then I'm going to analyze that information myself and give you an opinion on it. So I'm just going to deliver, when I have a stance, I'm going to show you, hey, it's based on these facts, based on this evidence. And hey, if you have an opposing opinion, that's perfectly fine. But bring your facts, bring your evidence. Show me where your source is, or your sources. But with that out of the way, let's hop into it. So as I said, AMC had this news release at 2:55 p.m. today, so it's fairly recent, just a couple hours ago, about hey, National Popcorn Day, Thursday, January 19th. So there's two ways I want to take a look at this news. In one sense, hey, this is nice. You're doing a promotion, basically. Your PR move, marketing move of, hey, you got this day, you got this holiday, quote unquote, where maybe you can attract more people to your theaters. Maybe the folks coming to your theaters, maybe you can attract them and say that, hey, maybe this person wasn't originally going to buy a popcorn, and hey, with this price slashed in half, maybe they'll think of buying it. And just for out of my own curiosity, it's been what? I'll be frank, it's been about a year since I last went to the movie theaters. The last time I went to an AMC theater, at least a year ago. I used their, was it like that private rental little deal that they had? It was like $300 where I could rent out a screening of whatever movie I wanted, provided in their selection, and it was what, Fast 9? Yeah, so was it like 14 of my friends and I, so it was like 15 of us. I rented out that theater and we watched Fast 9. But I didn't really buy popcorn or soda, so I just wanted to know what the prices were. So I pulled up on their website and I just screen capped it. And yeah, regular popcorn, you're looking at $9 to $10. So hey, instead of $9 to $10, it's going to be like $4.50 to $5 ish, and whatever your tax is. Or if you spend more to get the gourmet stuff, hopefully that 50% applies across the board. I'm not exactly sure how that promotion exactly works, but if it's 50% off across all of it, then hey, $4 to $5, that might be an easier pill to swallow for folks, as opposed to spending 9 or 10 For a bag of popcorn, you spend $4 to $5. So hey, that might be a nice way to bring in some extra revenue. But that's only one day. And this is where I want to provide you folks with some context. Yes, this looks like a good idea. If you're able to lower the cost, and hey, if you're able to attract more people to spend money that previously they weren't willing to spend, makes sense. But if it doesn't attract new people, and you basically have the same number of folks going to the theaters, and they were going to buy a popcorn either way, and you've basically slashed your revenue from your popcorn by 50%. And as we pull up, I'll pull up my little, my Excel spreadsheet here. I'm going to pull up the figures for their 10Qs, their financial statements. We can see that, hey, look at the revenue on their tickets, look at their revenue on their beverage, and then compare it to, hey, what are the costs, the film exhibition costs and the food and beverage costs? What is your profit margins for this? So I have this broken down just on a domestic level here. I have a separate sheet for that. And I've covered this in previous videos, but look, your ticket profit, when you bring in over 400 million in admissions revenue, subtract that with your film exhibition costs, let's just say that, hey, your ticket profit comes out to roughly 205 million. On the other hand, look at your food and beverage revenue, 272 million. But you're only spending roughly 43 million in food and beverage costs. So look at that potential quote unquote profit margin of your concessions on your food and beverage. Look at how much more money you really bring in profit. I'm going to say quote unquote profit for your food and beverage versus your tickets. And don't forget that, hey, this ticket profit, it's unlikely that that's the full amount that they're going to get. That's just my speculation. I know that there's film exhibition costs. I need to dig into it more myself. But we know that, hey, when you sell a ticket, that price, whatever, let's say $15 for your ticket, AMC's not the one that's getting all the $15. The production studios, they're going to get a cut of that. And if you Google it, you'll see in cases, you'll see cases anywhere from, hey, it could be as low as 30% up to as high as 80% of that cost. That's how much the production studios, those companies, are taking from the movie theaters. There's a lot of nuances, a lot of case-by-case stuff, but it's a wide range, but nonetheless, they're going to take a decent amount, a decent portion of that revenue. So that's not pure profit. You just got to keep that in mind. And similar story, you can type, if you follow along that same logic pattern, you can say similar story for food and beverage profits. But nonetheless, you can see that, hey, food and beverage profits, quote unquote profits, is a large portion. Basically more than ticket sales usually. So when you have something like this type of event, you really gotta hope that more people are willing to spend money. People who aren't willing to spend that money in the first place do spend that money on that Thursday. And hold on, there's one other thing I did want to cover. I'm gonna bring this tab here. So what we have here, this is a site I use often. I use this site to grab my domestic box office gross figures along with international/worldwide figures. Now, for example, take a look at the top 10 gross. This is just for a trend type of purpose. If you look at it, look at how the movie theaters do on the weekend. Basically, if you look at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, how does that performance compare to versus a regular weekday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll see that easily Monday through Thursday is significantly slower than your Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, let's don't forget that, hey, holidays, people have maybe an extra day off, they're taking some more vacation, etc. That may be an explanation for that January 2nd. But in general, we can see, I'll pull up 2022 figures to also show that. Let that load. That in general, look at your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then compare it to your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. In April, you're at 30 mil, that 30 mil range, 20 to 30 mil range on the weekend. But hey, regular weekday, you're in that 5 to 8 mil range. So you have this holiday that falls on, get the article back here. It falls on a Thursday. So the impact I see that this doesn't fall on a major day where you have a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people coming in. So the context that I want to provide for this is that this is a good idea. You want to push it hard. You want people to spend more money, buy more popcorn. You want people spending more money at the theaters. But I see this as a low impact type of news. And they talk about, hey, look at all the different movies that we have in our theaters during that day. So Avatar, it's still going on. Puss in Boots, you got Megan, couple new releases, Man Called Otto, Plane, and House Party. So let's see, did they say they're doing it at all their locations for their perfectly popped, I'm guessing it's perfectly popped popcorn, if I recall the phrase, the saying. Now, this news release hit, as I said, 2:55 p.m. So I thought, hey, AMC Theaters, you have this press release, basically. You got it going through Business Wire. You have a social media account like Twitter. Is it on your Twitter account? I tried scrolling through, looked through tweets and replies, and I couldn't find it. See, this is back in January 11th, 10th. So I don't see it. 9th, 7th. I mean, I can go further and further down, but I just don't see it. So the question is, why isn't it here? Maybe I just missed it, but as far as I can see, as I've shown you folks, I don't see this news on there. My personal thought is that I'm no marketing guru, so I don't know. But I would think that, hey, if I have a holiday/event of sorts coming soon, I would be hyping it up. If I had a job as a marketing person. But as I'll state that, hey, I've never worked in marketing, so I don't know if that's the right thing or not. Maybe to not do it is better. But just coming from my perspective, I would think that, hey, I would be promoting this. Coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day I'd be like, folks, we got this event. We got this event coming up. Come watch a movie at AMC Theaters. You can buy popcorn 50% off. I'd be promoting that. I'd be pushing that. But I just don't see it. I'd be pushing folks, especially through social media platforms. You want more folks. You want folks that... A lot of the folks that go to the movie theaters, I mean, you want to target that young audience. A lot of the young audience is on social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, etc. So push it on those platforms. Help drive people to your theaters. If you want to be successful, that's just my perspective of what I would do. But you're not doing it. So that just calls into question, what are your executives doing? What is your business model? What's your business plan? Like, what are those marketing people doing? Are qualified people in those positions? Do they know how to attract people to their theaters? Is this idea, is this event a good one to do? I'd just love to know. But that's just the first section that I wanted to cover. And while I am still on Twitter, I'll transition to the second part I wanted to make, second portion I wanted to cover. This guy, Avi Harkishun. This guy, I made a video on this guy, digging into some of his, just digging into him, getting some more information about of this person. If you haven't seen my video, I'd recommend you to take a look at it, because I look into all the public information I could find. So I looked in LinkedIn account, looked at his YouTube. Obviously, we got the Twitter here, and because in his previous tweets he was talking about how he signed his emails as a financial advisor, I thought, hey, let's take a look at that. Let's verify. This guy really a financial advisor? Did he pass any exams? Is he qualified to state that? Where is he working? And I looked through all that. And I found out that, hey, if you go through FINRA, you can use broker check, and you can see that this guy, he was terminated. He was let go from a firm, a company, because of breaking rules, FINRA rules and firm rules about using social media. I think, do I have the tweet here? Right here. From BrokerCheck, the detailed report. He was discharged due to use of outside websites and social media platforms in violation of FINRA rules and firm policy. This was back in March 28th of 2022. And now this guy decided he's leaving the community. So he says he's leaving. He deleted all his tweets again, and he's not going to post any DD or anything in regards to AMC. Now remember, he deleted all of it. Start off the new year, 2023. Said that, hey, he's going to spend more time with his family, more time trading, more time learning, researching, etc. He took only a break for like 5 days, and came back and started posting more DD, supposedly. But he talks about how someone reached out to his employer, and I'll be clear, that wasn't me yet. Or I don't think it's me. I sent an email to one of his previous employers, but I didn't get a response back yet. But nonetheless, it's just quite interesting. You were previously terminated because of, hey, in your job position, your job, you took exams where you should have known what the policies were, but you violated those policies being on social media, using those websites, and got fired for it. Now you got another job, and I don't know, is that in violation again? Is that why you're deleting all your tweets once more? I don't know. But this guy just reeks of someone that was just grifting. I've called him out multiple times before, covered him in previous videos of how This guy's pushing folks to go buy tickets, to go buy merch, to go sign up for their credit card, be first in line to sign up for their credit card, and etc. I pointed out the flaws in his financial forecasting model, numbers he pulled out of absolutely thin air when he could have pulled out. He could have done a forecasting model. He could have done it based off of words of the CEO. For example, what my Excel sheet does, I pulled out the quote from Q3 earnings call transcripts. What the CEO said, what they're expecting for growth, what their projections are. 70 to 80% pre-pandemic. Look at how many wide releases they're expecting. That's what CNK said. AA from AMC. Think about, hey, domestic box office, what they're expecting it to grow by, what they're expecting it for the end of 2022, etc. You could have built your forecasting model off of that. But it doesn't seem like he did. He just pulled out random 20, 30, 50, 90% growth out of nowhere. And when I called him on it, he's like, oh, some movies didn't do as well as I thought they would. But he continued to push out old data, even though there was new data, sufficient new data to prove that, hey, your tracking is really off. So yeah, he's leaving the community. I could understand that, hey, if people are doxing you, they're attacking you like that, shouldn't happen. I never condone folks who choose to like stalk, dox folks. Don't do that. That's just absolutely creepy and just morally wrong. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. But on the flip side, if you're out here grifting off of folks in the AMC community or even any stock community, you're basically pumping up a stock, you're hyping it up, you're providing misinformation and trying to make money off of that, to financially benefit off that. No, that's terrible. You shouldn't be doing that. You should know better if you're a financial advisor slash financial professional. You shouldn't be providing financial advice to these folks. But oh, yeah, don't forget, he always says, oh, I'm not providing financial advice. I'm just telling you folks that, hey, you need to buy tickets, you need to buy merch, sign up for the credit cards. It's absolutely insane. But we'll see. We'll see. Did he finally sell out of his AMC positions? I don't know. A lot of these folks, they never post it. I never see the transparency of, hey, pull up your brokerage account. Whatever. You use Robinhood, pull up your Robinhood. You use Webull, pull up your Webull. You pull up your Thinkorswim or TD, Ameritrade, Schwab, Vanguard, BlackRock, whatever broker you use. Pull it up. Show what your positions are. I've had people trolling me saying that, hey, you're a shill. And I've disclosed that, hey, I hold no position in it. I've posted screenshots of my TD Ameritrade account showing, hey, no positions. I've shown my portfolio, my Webull portfolio of, hey, look at I made profits on AMC. I got out more than a year ago and haven't really touched it since then. And ever since really pushing out these videos, I've been pretty transparent. I hold no position in the company. No shares, no shorts, no options, no calls, no puts, nothing. Zilch. Same thing for my family members, my immediate family members. None of them. They don't hold anything. But these folks, they don't. No transparency. But yeah, I'm just going to end it on this guy. He was a little less conspiracy, tinfoil hat theory than some of the other folks I've seen in the AMC community. I mean, he tried to do a forecasting model, so he tried to work with numbers, albeit those numbers are completely unrealistic and really not backed by much logic. But hey, that's much better than the folks that consistently point out, oh, look at these synthetic tokens, and they keep on pointing to FTX, and oh, they were supposed to be backed 1-to-1, so you got these quadrillion shares, and you got these naked shorts and all these synthetic and illegal shares. Or now I think the new term is phantom shares. It's just those theories have no basis. There's no proof. There's no evidence. I'd love to see someone show me from a reputable source, show me the evidence proving that those exist. All the folks who keep on hyping up the 8 quadrillion or whatever, 8 billion synthetics or tokens and whatnot, I don't really think you understand the whole cryptocurrency blockchain type of thing. I don't know it. I'm not super savvy on it either. But I don't see the direct link showing that, hey, that your claim of 8 billion or 8 quadrillion, whatnot, of that existing, how that could occur in the stock market. But it is what it is. So that's that. And the next point I wanted to cover was this filing. So let me actually, before I do that, this is a video that I want you folks to take a quick look at. I've done a couple of videos, but one video, I covered this, 8 days ago, in January 3rd. I dug into a lot of the Form 4 filings for some of the AMC board of directors. In particular, one person I looked into was the CFO. Where is he on the list? Sean Goodman, there you are, your EVP and CFO. I dug into his filings. And this is the most recent filing from the SEC Edgar website. So we look at all those RSUs, look at all those stocks, that shares that will become vested. No different from all the shares that Adam Aaron, that he tweeted about in the couple days, or over a week ago, I think, about that were vested. Now, it's important to understand this. Understand when did this transaction occur? January 3rd. And if you watched my previous video, when I was covering a lot of these Form 4 filings, I talked about, hey, look at the pattern that exists. So, where's Sean Goodman? I pulled up all the Form 4 filings for Sean Goodman since he joined AMC, and I began to notice a pattern. Notice the pattern that, hey, if you look at, you got a lot of shares granted, PSUs granted, shortly within a week or so, anywhere from like a week to a month, basically sells it. So I pointed out, November 1st, 2021, got those PSUs granted. 8 days later, on the 9th, November 9th, sold 111,000 shares. December 2nd, more shares. 5 days later, sold more, 18,316 shares. January 3rd, 2022. Look at those RSUs and PSUs he was granted, invested. 3 days later, sold more, 53,706 shares. February 17th, 2022, PSUs. March 2nd, he sells them like 3 weeks later. So within the course of basically a month, if not sooner, he's selling them. Sure, he might have it filed under the 10b5-1, but nonetheless, this guy is selling it the moment he gets more. Yes, you have. Do I have the thing here? The update? Nah, I don't have it. If you look at the one of the schedule 14As, I believe, you'll see that this was from their 2019 filing of the NEOs, or the Executive Stock Ownership Guidelines. But I believe, just trying to recalling off the top of my head, I believe the CFO needed 6 times his base salary and the CEO needed 8 times the base salary. But you can take a look at how the current number of shares that he has, I'm not counting the non-vested shares. The current shares that he has, he's always, the moment he gets a good chunk of shares vested, immediately sells it, drains it down. 166,000 down to 0. He gets some more, 18,000 down to 0. 68,000 down to 10,000. 111,000 down to 4,420. And his most recent filing got up to 139,000. Sure, some for tax withholding purposes. But what I have here is a Form 144, a notice of proposed sale of securities. He's selling 80,750 shares. Approximate date of sale, the 11th. See the name right here. 10B5-1, sales plan for Sean Goodman. He just has it lined up. Basically, immediately, soon after he gets those shares vested through AMC's EIP, Equity Incentive Plan, just look at the number of shares that these NEOs, named executive officers, that they're getting. Yes, we know that their compensation structure has base salary and shares, but these folks, they're not holding on to their shares. They're ditching them as soon as they can. And in this case, he has to file a Form 144. Because, hey, restricted stock awards that he's trying to sell. 80,750 of them. You can dig through all the Form 4 filings in the past 2-3 years. How many filings will you see where insiders, these executives, how many of them are buying shares into the company? You don't see any. As far as I recall, I'm going to double check myself, but if my memory holds true, I don't recall seeing any filing where they're actually buying shares. And don't buy into the absolute nonsense that Boss Blunts put out saying that, oh, look at Adam Aaron, he recently bought shares, and if you disagree with me, that's FUD. He directly responded to Adam Aaron's tweet when Adam Aaron himself said that, hey, I had AMC and Ape shares vested, but Boss Blunt said, oh, he obviously bought Ape shares. It's just mind-blowing. But yeah, your CFO just keeps on selling, not holding. Sure, he'll have to hold enough so it satisfies, I believe, if I recall correctly, that's 6x his base salary. But I've mentioned in previous videos, how many shares is he holding on to? Pull up the Form 4 filing. As of that filing on the 3rd, 85,000. Sure, he has 826,392 equity interest if you factor in all those future vesting of equity grants, those other shares that you'll get when you hit certain performance goals. But he doesn't have those right now. But he's dumping his shares as soon as he can. Now it's normal. As I mentioned, it's part of their total compensation. Yeah, they get shares, they get RSUs, they get PSUs, they get other bonuses and awards. he holds on to absolutely nothing. He holds on to basically the bare minimum. It's different from if you look at other well-run companies. Look at their executives. Sure, some will actually even buy, and of course some will sell. But a well-run company, you never see them hold so few shares and to immediately sell them the moment that they get them. And I don't know how else that you can take a position in regards to this situation. It seems like there's no faith. Sean Goodman has no faith really in the company. And I'm sure if you dig further into his employment history, look at the connections and ties, maybe there's more of an explanation. There could be. That would be speculation. Just as, my speculation is that, hey, this guy doesn't trust the company because the moment he gets shares vested, he's selling them. All of it, basically. All that he can. But that's that. And I wanted to be transparent and show you folks where I'm getting it. It's an SEC official filing. It's a little bit trickier to find than your typical Form 4 filing, because these are paper forms, paper form 144 submitted via email. So I had to dig in through their current filings on January 11th. You download a zip file, and it has a whole bunch of different PDFs showing the different forms that were submitted. If you go into the SEC Edgar website and you search for Form 144 filings for Sean Goodman, you won't find it that way. You'll only find it through here. Or at least that's the only way I could find it. Now, you can certainly take the stance that, hey, you know what? That all seems super shady. Why are these people submitting paper forms? Why aren't they all doing it electronically? Why is it so why is it so difficult to find out? Sure, you can make those points. But I'm not really going to be going down the rabbit hole in regards to that. I'm not going to engage on, oh, this guy was maliciously or trying to hide the fact that he was trying to sell shares. No, because eventually, it's going to come out. But I guess it does come out to the timing of as to when you'll be made aware of those sales. And remember, this is just a proposed notice of proposed sale. So he's proposing to sell it on the 11th. We'll see. We'll get an updated filing showing, hey, when he sold it exactly. But nonetheless, I called it out in my previous Form 4 filings video, saying that this guy, Sean Goodman, your CFO, he's going to be selling shares based within a month. I said within a month, if not within 2 weeks of when that Form 4 filing hit, that when he got his shares, some shares vested, that he was going to be selling. And bam, look at it. Within 2 weeks, we get this filing. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if any of the other executives, we'll see filings from them. We see filings from Frank Elizabeth. I would not be surprised. We see more filings from Chris Cox, Kevin Connor. I guess this is the one person that I haven't seen many filings from in regards to her sales. But everyone else, the people that have been with the company for a while, selling. Well, yeah, those are the things that I wanted to cover in today's video, the main points. And before I finish, just wanted to go over some of the comments and questions from the last video. This guy, DJ No Play, you keep on coming to my videos. You never answer to any of my replies, and you keep on making these claims. They're not supported by any sort of fact. There's no basis for your statements, and I've replied to you again. Yeah, I've been making some AMC videos, but guess what? I'm not purposely bashing them. I'm covering the information, the news. I'm showing you the information about this stock and the news relevant to it. And hey, come back to me with that 4 million AMC holders. Tell me, when was that data relevant? When Adam Aaron said that figure, what was that date? Did, did you ever get an update as to what that figure is? What is that figure now? That's a question that should be answered. I've seen some video clip going through Reddit saying that, hey, that number is down to like 3 to 3.5 million. And that would show that, hey, you know what? People are selling. You claim that, oh, we're 10 million strong now. No. People are selling. Not everyone is quote unquote diamond handing. You think the stock price going down is just pure crime and manipulation? You have no evidence, you have no facts supporting that. You can see institutions that are reducing their positions. You see institutions leaving. The price of the stock goes down in correlation to its performance. The stock was overvalued. The market will eventually bring that price, the price of the stock, down to what it should be valued at. The question just becomes, it's just a matter of time. The market will try to become efficient. It'll try to bring that valuation, what it's worth, down to what it should be. But hey, I'll give it credit that it's taking longer than I predicted. But hey, continue to call me out. You got no proof. You got no facts. You just seem angry. Why don't you come on? Why don't you come on to the Telegram channel? Or hey, reach me out on Twitter. Let's hold a call. Let's talk. Bring your facts. I want you to bring up proof of your position. Let's talk about it. How far down are you? How big are those bags? Now, I don't care if you hold shares of the company, you like the company. I don't care about that. The only thing I care about is, hey, if you want to talk about the company, go ahead. But let's talk about facts. Something that you can back up and support and prove with actual evidence and data. You want to be bullish? Then show me the data that backs that up. You want to be bearish? Go ahead. I don't care if you're losing money, really. Your money, you do what you want with it. I just want to make sure that, hey, if you're saying something, your claims, your statements, let's make sure that your statements are accurate, that you're not providing false information. Don't drag other people into a situation by spreading your false narrative, by spreading your false information. But yeah, let's see. This guy said, appreciate the content, bagholder or not, putting out facts and truth is a must. Definitely agree. That's the whole point of this channel. What I want to do is, hey, if you put out the right information, I'm going to give you props for it. I did to one person, but he got a little angry at me. He got emotional and he started attacking me. But hey, it is what it is. I already covered this DJ guy. And yeah, I replied back to you. But yeah, I know. You can't imagine me watching another 100 videos of me bashing it. No, I'm not really bashing it. I'm providing you the information, talking about the data, and if there is another perspective, I try to cover it. But yeah, I see some of your other comments of covering other folks, such as I did a little bit of boss blunts before. I'll try to do that in the next couple of videos. Charlie's vids, yep, I definitely know about him, so I'll be covering him too. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. I know my videos are super long. I'm trying to work on it. Maybe I should just switch to a live stream type of format and just let it be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But I appreciate you folks. For folks that watched to the end of the video, really appreciate you. If you like the content, I'd appreciate it if you can hit that like button and share the content. I'd appreciate it if you can share it with the folks that you think will benefit from receiving the information, from receiving the perspective that I point out. I think that we need to counter the misinformation. Bullish or bearish, information is information. If it's based on evidence, if it's factual, then hey, this is something that you should know. If you're invested in the stock, it's even more crucial. You should have this information. You should understand it. You can make a better decision if you have more information. But if you're making decisions based on flawed information, what's going to happen? The likelihood of you making a misstep or a mistake is that much greater. So what I'm out here doing, I'm making videos, I'm providing you folks with information, showing you where to get it, showing you or telling you about my thoughts, my reaction, my review, my analysis. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just pointing out, look at the information here. Fact check me, double check my stuff. You should do that wherever, from whatever person you listen to, whatever person you watch. And then make your decision, whatever you do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to buy, not telling you to sell, not telling you to hold. You're the only one who can make that decision. I'm just here calling out the facts. If people are misrepresenting it, if they're spreading the wrong information, misinformation, I'm going to call it out. If they're spreading the right information, yeah, I'll give you props, and I've been doing that. So until next time, folks, this is Shadow Stars signing out. Peace.